Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today I want to talk to you about this set of night vision binoculars. So I got this from this company OneLeaf. As you can see, this is going to shoot in 4K, which is great. You can use these in the daytime and in the nighttime as well. I mean, the fact that you can use the binoculars, period, the fact that you can use them at night is great. And the fact that you can record at night, that's a whole nother level. So I'll run through the details, we'll get some footage, and then you can see if maybe these are gonna work for you. And there is a discount code available down in the description section if you wanna pick up a set of these. Let's start off and talk about what you get in the setup here. So obviously you're gonna get the binoculars. So that's what that looks like. And obviously we'll go into detail on all the information about these. You get your binocular strap. It's got two little clasps there on the bottom so you can attach it to the binoculars. Made of soft neoprene. Nice and comfortable, does the job. You get a mounting system there. You get your charging cord, which is right there. Mine actually came nice and charged, so I didn't have to charge it up, but this is a USB, just so you can see, USB-C there. You're gonna get a bag for carrying them. You get a cleaning cloth here. You also get some, basically a system here, right, or a process, so the wet one and then the dry one after for cleaning them off. You get some tools and a little bit of hardware. And then you get your instruction manual. All right, so let me talk through the binoculars a bit here. First off, you can see you've got kind of what looks like standard binocular lenses here. And here you've got a screen that you're gonna look into. So based on your vision, you know, sometimes you can get up real close, other times you're gonna have to back away a little bit. Whatever it is, I've been looking at these probably like about this far away, just because that's how my vision works. So just a little bit of a different experience compared to your standard binoculars. You do have padding here and padding there. You can see under here, you've got these two little, they look kind of like pins that go in, and you untwist these and then your battery is going to be inside there. You can see I got two 18650 batteries there. On this side, we have one 18650 battery there, all included with the binoculars. The other thing worth noting on the side here is you get this little kind of rubber cover, and there's a pull tab there. My hands are getting chilly out here in the snow, but you can see that's where you're going to, you've got a headphone jack, you got an HD jack, you have your charging jack for USB-C, and then you have your tiny little micro SD card, which came included as well. All right, on the top here, you got your power button. You have your zoom in, your zoom out. You have a camera or video camera. Then you have your different settings, which again, we'll show you that. Picture in picture, and then your menu setup. And the menu setup is like what's your rate for recording, you know, tons of different things, which again, as you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, it's like a standard camera, that the different options they want to give you on a digital camera. Now, the other thing worth noting here is that you've got this basically a cover here, right? So this is your standard lens. Here's your night lens. So you're gonna crank this to remove this cover, which is gonna allow in more light for when you're using these at night. If you're not using them at night, you take this, cover it up. Got to get the threads lined up, but you cover it up and you can see now there's just a tiny hole, so it's going to let in less light. That just makes the camera function better overall, so that you're not basically blinding yourself with the amount of light that's being absorbed into the camera. All right, so there's a quick rundown of some of the details here. Now, to get it fired up, you're basically going to turn your power button on, and then as you're holding it here with your right hand, you're going to adjust this to get your focus, and then you can zoom in and zoom out with the zoom in and zoom out button. Relatively simple to do. Me talking to the camera here is not going to be the most efficient way for me to explain how it works, because you know you can't really look into the screen here. So what I'm going to do now is get some footage, and then I'll do some voiceover and let you know how it actually works. All right, I do want to show you real quick, there is a microphone built in here too, so I can actually talk through as we're looking at things. So just looking at my truck over there, you see my iced coffee on the back. Yeah, so I'm holding it with my right hand through the strap. I'm sorry, my left hand through the strap, and then my right hand is adjusting the focus. So I'll show you real quick here. So the focus, I mean, it's pretty good just based on where I'm at here. So yeah, just to give you a sense, you know, looking around here, this is as backed out as far as it can go right now, as I'm looking at the trees and such. You can see like the sign to this little conservation area down there. So there's that. All right, we're recording here, and you can see, looking at the stone wall out there in the distance of my yard. If you've seen my flashlight videos, we often look at this stone wall. You can see a little picnic table we have out here in the yard. This is on daytime mode. I'm currently shooting at 1440p, 30 frames per second. So that's what that looks like, looking out at our playset. Let me zoom in for you. You see it will get choppy as we zoom in, just by the nature of when you're zoomed in so tight, it definitely is like you see the movements very quickly. There's 10 times zoom, and then obviously you can see it's going to get a bit harder to stabilize. And if you put it on a tripod, that'll be great. It'll be much more stable. I'll zoom out here again, but looking off into the woods, you know, daytime. It's dusk right now. It's like 4 something, so definitely a little bit darker. You can see some houses off in the distance there, beyond our house. So there's that. There's a look at it at the in the daytime mode. All right, back at it again here, and now I'm going to show you the laser finder. So let's see if we can actually see it on the tree out there. Yeah, you can see that little red dot, which is great because now I can like focus the dot on what I'm looking at and then look into the screen. So I can see it through the screen and on the dot as well. Do the same thing with the table there. Got a tire swing out in the yard, red dot on the swing, and I could see it on the screen as well. So nice additional feature right there. Okay, so I'm in the same spot that I shot the first video in, looking at the stone wall. It's probably about, I don't know, I'd say 50 yards away. And just want to show you a couple things. If you adjust the, let's see, this is the right side lens, you can see it gets kind of darker, and then as I crank it back, lighter, and as I crank it back even further, it almost gets like a circle there in the middle, so you can see that. That's a little bit more balanced. And if you crank the left lens, you can see a little blurrier, and then that's too far the other way. So right about in the middle. Let's see if we can get a good shot. And this is on the tripod now, so we're dealing with less of the shaking and such. But let me just look around here so you can actually see off into the woods. You can see the conservation area sign pretty clearly. But looking off into the woods, I mean, you could see if something was standing out there right now, I'd probably see it pretty easily. And I'll just zoom in here to show you. I'm going to zoom in here now. As I zoom in, I got to readjust my focus. Yeah, so it looks like if I go too far this way, it's going to get fuzzy. If I go back a little bit, it's going to start getting fuzzy again. So right about there in the middle, right about there. And this is full HD at 120 frames per second. So that's what that looks like. Really nice and clear here. Let's up the IR a little bit more. So there's 8 for the IR. Show you nighttime with the laser. You can see the laser out there. There's the laser covered up. There's the laser. So you can see what I'm pointing at out there. Turn the laser off or cover it up again. Okay, we've got the rangefinder on now. You can see that on the screen, and that little flashing shows that it's working. So 29.30 meters, the playset that you're looking at. It's picture in picture right now, so you can see a little bit of a close-up there. Another look here with the rangefinder. You can see we're looking at a tree off in the distance there. 28.20 meters. All right, let's wrap up here talking about the OneLeaf Find NV200 night vision binoculars. Price point for this right at the time of this video with the rangefinder included, you're looking at about $529. There is a discount available, and I've got links down below so you can check that out. These guys are super impressive. I have another pair of night vision binoculars that I tested out. They worked fine, but as soon as I got these, I'm like, these are definitely a step up. I can tell you a couple things from my experience overall. I mean, you've seen the footage. If you're thinking, oh, I've got those, now I can go hiking in the woods. Like, they are not meant to be night vision goggles. They don't work that way. It's just not what they are. So just a heads up on that. It does have a lot of great features. Just got to cover up the laser here. A lot of great features included with the rangefinder, with the laser, IR. You can use them in the day, use them in the night. You can shoot footage, which is great. I just think there's a lot of wins to these, and I don't have vast experience with night vision binoculars. Or as I heard another guy who reviewed them, basically the way they function, they're actually like a night vision monocular with an LCD. But I don't have a ton of experience with all different types of brands, but these things worked well to the point that, like, what I'm looking at, I can see it clearly, I can get footage of it. I think that's really cool. I can tell you confidently that when you shoot in 4K, I forget exactly what setup I was in 4K, I'm not sure how many frames per second, but those were big files. So the quality of the 4K is good, and it takes up a lot of space, which shows you that it's not just like, oh, it's 4K, wink, wink. It's not really like, it's 4K. So just be aware that as far as like when you're, like, I tried to get some of the footage and put on the computer and the files were just huge. So be aware if you're going to be using a lot of the footage or editing a lot of the footage. Yeah, it's going to take up a lot of space. So they are not super lightweight. I'm glad that it does come with the strap here. I think having a case would be another win. If you've got a good Plano case or maybe a bigger Otter box or something like that. I think they were called Kong, K-O-N-G cases that you could store this in. That'd be a good move because they come with that sort of felt bag, which is fine, but it's not as durable as I'd want for a product like this, especially if you're spending $500 on it. Obviously, that's a lot of cash. But overall, they've worked well. Who is this for? Definitely somebody who wants to be, I mean, I wouldn't buy these if I was just buying binoculars in general. If you want to take footage of something and you're into photography or videography, then I would get a camera as opposed to getting these. But if you're like, I want something that can really look out into the night and into the day, then these would be great. If you're like, I just need a good pair of binoculars, just buy binoculars. Footage and nighttime, I think that's really who I think this is built for. If you want to get footage of what you're looking at and you want to be able to do it at night, I think these are a nice win. It does take a little bit of getting used to. You know, you don't put them up totally like this all the time. You got to kind of get the right distance to see, depending on your vision and how well your eyes are working. But yeah, they work well for that. Definitely, if you like watching wildlife at night. And it's hard to do, you know, you got a flashlight, you can do spotting, but it's nice to be able to look at them, be in the total dark, and the animal might not even know you're there if you're far enough away. I'm sure there's other applications for these, but for me, as someone who spends a lot of time in the outdoors, that's what I'm thinking about for these. If you can think of additional applications, feel free to leave a comment and let us know about that. It is an investment. I can't speak to long-term durability at this point. I did watch another guy who reviewed these, and he said that he actually dropped his from 4 feet onto concrete, and they're still working fine. So obviously be careful, but he spoke to the durability, at least with that drop. But overall, I've liked these guys. It is a lot of money. You know, you can buy binoculars for a lot less than this. So I think you really got to consider, am I going to use them for particularly nighttime and then also to get footage? And if you are, then these are something I think are worth looking into. Yeah, even as I'm holding this, like, my arm's getting a little bit tired here. So what do you guys think about these? The Find NV200 shooting in 4K. Do you like them? Would you invest in them? If you had the money, would you invest in them? Are you going to invest in them? I've got a link down below with the discount code as well. And then they have an affiliate program, which I've signed up for. So if you do purchase them and you can use that link, that helps support my channel. So thank you in advance for that. And yeah, let's get the conversation started. These are the type of product I'm going to keep and use on and off in the years to come. I'm certain of that. So let's hear your thoughts and your feedback on these night vision Binocs, and let's get that conversation started in the comment section now. Hey, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.